Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first of many crazy challenge runs, where I take a video game and I try to do some sort of crazy challenge. And since a lot of people are asking for a Let's Play or something of this very underrated game, I decided to start with this one. What's the challenge? I am going to solve every single puzzle in this game without a free puzzle, and maybe a hint here or there, very rarely. I'll explain as we go on.
Your first mission is to capture Maui, the trickster hero of Hawaii. This is the story of how Maui played a trick and pulled the Hawaiian Islands from the sea. Maui was a skilled shape changer, but when he was a boy, his 4 older brothers left him behind every time they went fishing. You're always playing tricks and you never catch any fish, they told him. One day, however, Maui had a plan.
Find the piece of the box with the boat. Okay. Alright, so basically, you're given a variety of locations usually. You go there, you have 10 puzzles to solve. Under the puzzle is a piece. Now, yes, we're looking for them, but I'm going to solve all of these puzzles regardless of... Can I turn the music down? No, I can't. Let's go here. Okay, so I have to solve every single puzzle in the game, with the exception of tutorial puzzles, because I don't give a shit about those. This right here is a rotoscope puzzle, or rotoscope, how it... Well, it's a sliding tile puzzle, except you just... It's in a circle. And let me tell you, this is the first of... The first area and the first of 7 levels. Each level has 7... Each of the 7 levels has 5 different areas, with 10 puzzles each. It's going to be hard. No tutorial puzzles. Okay, this one is a little more interesting. First thing we want to do is turn off animate and turn off grid. I really like this puzzle, maybe because it stays consistently easy. But, basically, a bunch of these puzzle pieces, we just have them trade spaces. This game was made by Alexei Pajanov in 1999, and it's my favorite game by him. I like it way more than I like Tetris. And like I said, this is the first area of the first level. Of course, the puzzles are going to be easy. So this is overlap. Basically, yeah, certain pieces can overlap, and they can overlap with the background as well. Doing that, you have to complete the entire image. And yes, I know doing like a Let's Play or whatever of a puzzle game is kind of not the best idea in the world, but this game is just so underrated that I wanted to tell more people about it, or at least show them about it. I'm actually surprised I got something to record it. Fraps doesn't record it, or you'd be seeing numbers in the corner. So I used the OBS to record this. Now, getting this game is really difficult. Getting it to work is even more difficult. Now, there are strategies to solve these rotoscopes really easy, and I'll be getting into them later. I did this in under 10 seconds, because it's one of the first puzzles in the game. Hints. I'll explain a situation where I may have to use it. But hints, they just solve one tile in an entire image. It's not exactly the most helpful thing in the world. And sometimes using a hint can totally backfire. And as you can see, yes, this is real artwork from around the world. We're starting in New York, but we're going to be going to all 7 continents, and some of the most major cities in the world. And some of their artwork and their culture from those places. And depending on my editing, you may be hearing the actual music Okay, see, this allows us to... we found the puzzle piece. I'm going to be doing the other 4 puzzles before we move on to the next area, though.
Maui became a seagull and flew after his brother's boat. When his brothers saw the seagull, they rowed toward it. Soon one brother felt a tug on his line and pulled in a big fish. The seagull swooped down and ate the fish, then changed back into Maui. "I found a fish for you," he said. "And then you ate it," said one brother. "We're never taking you fishing again."
Okay, yeah, we can go to Cairo, but I want to solve all of the puzzles in the game. And yes, to those who... to, like, the 1 or 2 people familiar with this game, that includes Image Hole. Why do I not like Image Hole? Well, you'll see it soon enough. There are 10 different puzzle types in the game, and Image Hole is the only dud that I legitimately consider it a dud puzzle type. For this game, this is why I recommend turning off the grid. When you turn the grid on, it's harder to see what goes with what. With the grid off, you can clearly see when a piece is in its correct place. Hold on, this puzzle shouldn't be taking me this long. There we go. 1 minute exactly. Right now, the timer doesn't really mean anything. And overlap. Overlap is kind of... I don't know, a stock... Like, you see it so much, it's kind of... you can't really think of more about it than just meh. It's just... the puzzle type I compare all the other puzzle types to. If I like it more than overlap, I think it's a puzzle type that I like. If I don't like it more than overlap, it's a puzzle type I don't like. I mean, this is the closest to a typical puzzle you'd find outside this game. Sometimes you get really nice art, like this piece of Times Square here. McDonald's! Free puzzle! I will not be using any of these. I hope that's not a mistake. Because, well, you'll see. At some point I am going to need to do some heavy-duty editing, because now in the game you see I'm beating these puzzles in like less than a minute. Later on in the game, it can take you upwards of an hour to beat some of the most difficult puzzles in the game. But this game does have a steady difficulty curve. I will say that. It won't be a while before we get there, and we should be prepared by then. And as you can see here, this is a bunch of American money. That piece doesn't go there. And when we get to a new area with a new puzzle type, I will do the new puzzle type first. It helps mix things up a little bit. And yeah, sometimes you have to rotate the piece. Last puzzle. The best strategy for this game is to find the pieces with the background and match them to the background. And yeah, sometimes I slip up like that. And this puzzle, in almost all the puzzle types, there is no consequence for getting something wrong. Like, it doesn't cost you any time or anything like that. In most puzzle types. Wait till we get to Image Hole. Yay! This goes not there. Yay, we're off to Cairo. Let's start with slices. No. Have you ever liked to put statues back together? Let's put a statue back together. Turn off the animation here, too. It's going to go a lot faster. I mean, yeah, this game is obviously casual and calming, but you don't want to be taking forever on the same puzzle. At least, not on your own merits. Say, we put the Sphinx back together. And honestly, this puzzle type here, slices, I think it might actually help you better judge limbs and how they're supposed to bend in a three-dimensional space. I say the answer is not always obvious. And there we go. Cairo. And we just did an Egyptian woman. It's time to do an Egyptian man. Okay. Slices is a puzzle type that I find almost consistently easy. There are some puzzle types that will be extremely hard from the start, and there's some that are going to be easy all the way through. Rotoscope, if you know how to do this puzzle type, it will remain easy with very few slip-ups. And when I was a kid, I didn't, so it was one of the hardest type that there was. As an adult, not very hard. Focus point. Okay. Focus point, I don't know if it's consistently easy, but it's consistently fun, at the very least. There are very few focus points in the game that I don't really like. Or very few that are absolutely notable for their difficulty. Although there are one or two that have bogged me down for a bit. This is not one of them, it's just taking me a while for no reason whatsoever. Focus point. Okay. In focus point, if you have an area like with the black lines and you're pretty sure where it goes, like this is obviously the floor, I'd recommend starting there. Other than that, I would start always with the biggest piece, like that. From there, just work outward, like this. I'll get more into strategy as we go along. Like some pieces you could see obviously go in this area or that area. And maybe I'll vary up the order I do these puzzle types. I don't know, like, if I like the puzzle type more, I'm going to do that puzzle type first. It really is that simple. I think most people would play the game with that in mind. And no, I wouldn't consider this spoiling the experience for anyone, even though the puzzles themselves don't change. I don't remember the answers to half of these puzzles. Like, I don't know exactly where this piece goes until I put it down in the right spot. And even so, it's just a calming game to play. You know, this is the kind of game you play after you had a hard day and you just want to do something to relax. Like, you know, that kind of game. Until it gets frustrating as hell later on. But early on, it's calming. Yay!